This is Vicky, also known as Dragonfly7673. You're watching DragonflySoars, and it is May 6th. I keep wanting to say April, so I had to actually look. It's May 6th, and it is not quite 4:30. I am actually hoping that this is a quick one because it's really nice outside. I was actually telling my employees and other people, pretty much anybody I saw today, I was like, leave early, go outside. It's a beautiful day, and it's Wisconsin, which means it won't last. So even people that didn't report to me were like, oh yeah, I should leave, and we're logging off and leaving. But then I was all set to leave at 2, and like 5 people found me, and each conversation was not very long. Each conversation was actually valuable. Each conversation meant I didn't leave until after 3, which was an hour later than I intended, and I had to run errands on the way home. And then I left, and I got partway home, like I was a couple miles down the highway, and all of a sudden realized I left my brace on my desk because I'm allowed to take the brace off. In fact, it's encouraged, so I get mobility back. And but I'm still supposed to have it so that if everything starts hurting, I can stabilize it. And I was like, crap. And I'm like, I'm not going back. I just can't go back. So I had to go to CVS pharmacy anyway to get something else. A regular prescription. They've been texting me, you know, your prescription's ready. Your prescription's ready. Pretty soon I'm going to get the phone call saying your prescription's ready, and if you don't come, we're going to put it back on the shelf. So while I was picking up my prescription, I got a new brace now, and this is not the one they gave me, but considering I'm supposed to also be able to take it off, I figured this was good. It's stabilizing my thumb, which was what I needed, and it is not intruding on my other fingers. It's not pressing down here on this nerve, making my hand go numb. So, I'm counting, I think it's good, because I can't move this while I'm wearing it, which is mostly what the other one was supposed to be doing. But I suspect they had, like, our health services is inside work, so I suspect that they don't exactly have a wide variety of choices, so they probably have the same one, whether you hurt your thumb, or you broke, or your wrist, or whatever. Hi. I know a lot of floss tubers have been showing their pets. This is one of mine, since he's making his own appearance. This is Tiggy Tiger. So named because he actually has tiger stripes. Anyway, and he's being a pest. He wants attention right now, and he was rolling around on the floor being all cute, and I was ignoring him. Because of having the brace and whatever, I have not knit much. Wednesday, I got permission to, like, start going out of the brace and moving. I can knit slowly for about 15 minutes, and then it starts to hurt. So through a couple conference calls, I did work, nope, I've stopped mid-row. I did work a little bit on my brickless. I had 4 more rows of ribbing. And then this lace part are what I got done since the last time you saw it. But pretty much I do one back and forth and I'd be done. There'd be no more knitting after that for at least a couple hours. So, we saw Indiana Jones on Wednesday. Well, I saw Ratchet and Clank with with my son and his girlfriend on Sunday. And I couldn't knit. And then we saw we saw Indiana Jones Last Crusade on Wednesday. Couldn't knit. So I bit all my fingernails. I try really hard not to do that, but sitting still is when it happens because I get fidgety. So, but this is how much of the yarn I have left. And the rows are definitely eating up the yarn faster. I am hoping I can finish the lace section all 9 back and forths well, 10 back and forth with the lace section, and then possibly a garter section. I'm really sorry. I was going to apologize and say the phone might buzz. Shortly before starting that, well, while I was at the pharmacy, best friend texted and said he had a flat tire. Then I didn't hear anything from him, and I went and got food. I came home, I did some stuff. I gathered my things and finally decided to start recording, and now he's texting. So I'm going to pause real quick. All right, sorry about that. He is fine. He has the spare on. Apparently he hit a spike. This kind of sucks because those tires are fairly new. They were just put on this fall. But, oh well, it is what it is. So, in between there, I put the last picture I had of the brickless. So you guys have seen that picture before. Not a lot changed, but I thought in case you wanted a full visual. The next thing I was going to talk about, I told you, I believe it was last time, it might have been 2 times ago, about a shawl that I made for, oh, it was 2 times ago because I was talking about Knitopia. About the shawl I made for my swap partner that I went to block it, and I ended up accidentally soaking it for over 12 hours, and the dye ran and set into the rest of the shawl. I have the new version of the shawl, but let me post a picture, well, a couple of pictures. What it used to look like, what it looked like after I accidentally soaked it too long, and then this one. So, Mom overdyed it, and I'm not sure what she used for the overdye. It wasn't RIT. It was one of the acid dyes, I believe. When she did, here in this lighting, it looks black. It's actually a very, very deep purple. The funny thing is the stitch definition actually looks better now that it's all one color, because now you can really see where the differences are, and the various like spires and shapes here, and the slip stitches. You actually see it a lot better. This was Josh Reich's, I believe it's called Spired, but it was the mystery knit along right before December. So it was a knit along that you got a clue every day, but they were pretty short clues. So you actually finished it, I want to say, in about a week. Anyway, and it was white, blue, and pink until the blue ran, and it ran into the pink and into the white. And anyway, what we were really surprised on is we expected the dye to take differently depending on what the base color and the base yarn was. Now the pink and the blue were the same type of yarn, different colors. The white was something totally different. But anyway, the color actually came out evenly all the way. So, which I just kind of find astonishing. I just can't believe that it evenly covered, because we were expecting that the blue would be a really deep purple and the pink area would be a little bit brighter purple, and that the white area would be a little bit toned down. I mean, we were expecting some differentiation. Nope, none. But it's rescued. It is now wearable. It doesn't look like it just got dumped in a mud puddle. So that's all I have for actual knitting. I have some yarn to show you. The store that my mom works is Wisconsin Craft Market in Madison, in Westgate Mall, and they got the Lion brand shawl in a ball. And somebody at Natopia actually had one of these. I don't know which colorway she had, but they're called Shawl in a Ball because they have decent yardage. It's 5.3 ounces, 150 grams, 518 yards. The idea is that you can make a shawl. It says one ball makes a shawl. Now they also have some, if you go out to their website, they have some pretty cool patterns for like sweaters that use 3 balls. So I've been helping with the website for the store, and so I just got given yarn as a thank you. Anyway, this is Restful Rainbow. And this is Mindful Mauve. And as you could tell, it will just transition. It'll go to the bright purple, the lighter purple, to a gray, to the white. And then I think it goes maybe back to the gray and to the light purple again. I think so, because like this one has the blue-green and then the purple and then a red. And eventually there's blue-green in there again. And I also inherited this. Every now and then people return skeins and they're like all mucked up, for lack of a better word. This one it's Mendocino from Crystal Palace Yarns. It is just 97 yards. Looks like a worsted. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but it's kind of got it's 2-ply, and it looks like the red ply is throughout, and then the alternating ply changes in a rainbow fashion. So like purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. So then it's actually 2 plies of red in that section, and then back up the rainbow. Or I think it goes from there back to purple, blue. It goes. By the way, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but it's 80% machine wash merino wool, and Mom can't usually work with wool, so I inherited it. And so for stitchy things, I did discover that I could stitch. I could stitch with my brace on, sort of. And so I ended up, when I was at the house last week, I did some gridding of my Disney. There's a lot left to go. That's a very big piece. But while I was there, Mom serged the edges, which was cool. And I need to work on gridding it some more. But Pumpkin Passport started, and it started on Sunday the 1st. But I had mentioned that I wasn't taking anything with me because I was staying until Monday at the house because my son was taking his driver's test. He passed. Yay. But anyway, they don't release until 7 p.m. my time. And so I was like, I'd only get a couple hours on it. Well, then Monday ended up being a much longer day, so I didn't get home until really late. I don't remember what I did when I got home, but it wasn't stitching. Oh, I think we watched one episode of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I moved the pattern for May into Knit Companion. I think that was all I did. And then I went to bed. Tuesday. What happened Tuesday? Maybe I stitched on Tuesday. It seems to me that I didn't, and I don't remember why that would be. Maybe I did. Wednesday we went to go see Indiana Jones. And yesterday I did some stitching. And tonight I will. But so it turned out that May is Greece. And apparently in Greece they have tourist donkeys that take you up the stairs of something. So the picture is somebody riding a donkey, and it's supposed to be Greece. I will show the picture. So I like it, and I like the picture. I, however, did not know that Greece had donkeys. And so then I was looking up information on them, and it turns out that the tourist donkeys are not actually very well taken care of, and it's really hard on them to do this. So even though I like my donkey, and I think he's a happy donkey, and he must but just be a pet, I do not recommend doing the tourist donkey thing when you're in Greece. I also think it's funny, there's a few people that were posting that they finished it in time for Cinco de Mayo. He's not a Mexican donkey. He's a Greek donkey. But there's nothing really on that image that screams Greece to me. The other ones, I no problem. Could tell right away where they were supposed to be. Not so much on Greece. But I like it. And here's a picture of where I am so far on my donkey. All right, just a couple things I added. I saw somebody on one of the floss tube videos talking about tacky bob, and so I didn't really know what it was, and Mom's probably going to say, we have those at the store. I didn't know. I don't know if she does or not. It's usually when I say, I don't know about that, she says, we've had those for years. But it's sticky, and on this side, it's foam, and on this side, it's sticky. And it's just like a mini CD case. And you put beads into it for cross stitch, and you can kind of separate them out, but they're not going anywhere, and you can close the lid. So I saw several people that do a lot of Mirabillas and lavender and lace or Mill Hill, anything with a lot of beads, using these. So I thought they'd be a good idea. I got two just because they were fairly inexpensive, and so I opened this one just to see it, and this is the other one. And also that way, if I'm doing two different projects, like say I'm doing one of those mini ones and I'm doing something else, I'd have two. But I think it'll work out good. I haven't tried it at all. And I figured I'd try it on the Calavera, the little Mexican mask that I was going to do for Stitch Mania. Now for Stitch Mania, I had said I was going to start my Disney project. Well, I was hoping to actually start it, but I've started gridding it. And I'm working on the passport. The other things that I have lined up are my Heidi shawl, which is a mystery shawl from the Unique Sheep. Next Friday should be the day they release the swatch instructions, which they always swatch in patterns, so you can kind of get an idea about your yarn usage. So so that'll start next week, and then the actual shawl pattern will start on the 20th. I have not started spinning because spinning really does require a lot of movement here, and I'm not ready for that. I start physical therapy on Monday, but I'm definitely not ready for that yet. And the other one was the little mask thing, and until I can hold it in hand, I can't start that. So right now it'll be gridding and pumpkin passport, and hopefully I get some stuff done. We have a very busy day Saturday, so I'm not sure. I also, just on a whim, got DMC color variations. There are 8 colors in here. These ones, the ones I showed you with the color S, have really dramatic color differences. These ones are more subtle, like one is purple, lavender, and pink, and one is pink and yellow, and blue, periwinkle, and purple. So they're pretty subtle. It refers to them as a soft blend of colors. I also got variegated. This one I have something funny. Anyway. These are actually, they go like the pink. It's different shades of that pink and different shades of that red. So these would be kind of cool if you were doing, stuff like this where you need subtle color changes just to make it look alive. It's 36 things of floss. At the top it says 18 colors. In the verbiage here it says 18. It says 2 skeins each of 18 shades, which is correct. Down here, it says 1 skein each of 36 of the following 36 shades. Well, there are not 36 shades here. There are 18. So this statement down here is actually wrong. And lastly, I stopped at Linds of Madison when I was going to visit last weekend, and I had never been there, and I get a little nervous going into new stores. Hi, Tiggies. So I actually decided, I had all my stuff with me that I had previously bought so I could show Mom and we could go through stuff. Actually, it was cool because she showed me, we actually went through all her old needlework projects and we pulled everything out and looked at it. And she had a couple Mirabilla, one for sure is a Mirabilla. The other one has an Indian woman with a dream catcher. I don't know if that one, I think that one was also a Mirabilla. It might have been like a lavender and lace or somebody like that. But anyway, she also had a bunch of other things. There was a few things we were laughing because, you know, she had done like one little piece of the corner and that was as far as it had ever gotten. But I'm like, oh good, it's like no different than the rest of us. But anyway, I don't like going to new places without having kind of a purpose. So I took this ink circles out of my bag and decided I would take it in, and then if they asked me if I needed anything, I could say, yes, I would like to get stuff for this. I was glad I did. Blimey Cat, who does a face, she's a floss tube hostess. Love her. She also does theater. So she was, even though she lives in New York, she was in the Madison area doing Peter Pan. I was actually kind of wondering if she was really at the fireside. But anyway, I don't know where exactly she was. But she went to Linds of Madison. And she was talking about how they just had a fabulous selection. And so I wanted to go there. Because I'm trying to like get a feel for what's around me. And they did have a very nice selection. They had a lot of different fabrics. They had drawers where it was all labeled. Oh, I just realized I'm missing something. Anyway, they had anchor. They had several different floss types, and they were very helpful. I walked in, I explained what I wanted, and she helped me pick this linen. It is a Picture This Plus pewter, and one thing I liked is when she cut it, because I had a project in mind, they actually wrote down what project it's for. So if I ever separate it and later I'm going, wow, I wonder what this was for. I know what it was for. It's for the Blue Morpho. That's the name of the pattern. Anyway, so they cut this for me. I don't have a very good picture of the colors. I'm sorry. I actually tried and it just doesn't really work, but it's kind of a blue-gray mottled look. And the original is in what looks like black and 2 shades of turquoise. Well, when we actually pulled what's supposed to be the black, it turned out it was actually more like an olive green. I actually did not think it went very well. Even she kind of went, are we sure we have the right color? So instead we switched. I wanted to switch anyway because I wanted to do purples. And I was thinking purples and black. So that's what I did. I have 2 classic color works in amethyst and blooming crocus. These are hand dyed, so if you look at them very closely, they're not consistently colored, which is what makes them very pretty. And then just 3 skeins of black in anchor, which mostly was because that's what she had at the time. And she thought I probably could get away with 2, and she's like, well, and if you don't need one of them, you could bring it back. I'm like, it's black floss. I'll use it somewhere. I probably do not need to bring it back. I have heard some people debate between DMC black and anchor black. I don't really know what the thing is, but I guess now I can try it and find out for myself. So what I was going to say though is they not only do they have the fabric and the floss, but they also do framing there, and they have a lot of art supplies. But a lot of the floss and fabric were in drawers. So like when we went to go look at the floss for the Classic Colorworks, it's a bunch of drawers. They're not see-through. They're just labeled alphabetically, which means for knowing, because we had a pattern in hand, what color we wanted, you know, you could alphabetically go and open the drawer and there it was. But if all you wanted to do was browse and look, it wasn't as conducive to that, because you'd have to open all the drawers to look. And I'm sure it was perfectly fine to do this, but to me it wasn't the same as like, oh, look, here's all the pretty yarn, versus, well, we have yarn, it's in a drawer down there. I didn't like it as well. And frankly, now that I know about the Welcome Stitchery in Crystal Lake, everything I do is going to be based on that one. And also the Witchery Stitchery in Mount Horeb also had things out, so you could really see them. And I like the feel of both of those better. The Crystal Lake one has a lot more to offer than the Witchery Stitchery, but it was very nice too, and very nice people. Witchery Stitchery has no web presence though. The Crystal Lake one, I didn't mention last week, you can online order basically everything they have in the store. So no matter where you live, you could go to that store. You just go online. I did link that on the show notes. All right. The last thing is the contest winners for Fiber and Ewe. So to anybody that's new, I've noticed I have a lot of new subscribers. I believe it's because of posting in Stitch Mania about the cross stitch pieces. We have a monthly, it started as a monthly knit along, crochet along, spin along. Now I include stitching along, but it is hosted on Ravelry. Ravelry is a site primarily for knitters, spinners, crocheters. Basically if you play with yarn. Thank you. There's holes in the sleeve. You know, it's spring. He's licking my arm through that. It tickled. Anyway, and I have a group there. And really, Ravelry is free to join. So if you want to, feel free to join and then find the DragonflySoars group. DragonflySoars is all one word. It's at the end of the episode, every episode. And we have a contest every month. You know, anything you finish in that month, post it, and then I draw names once a month for 3 winners. 2 winners win Ravelry patterns of $15 or less, and 1 winner wins an Etsy gift card. If you don't knit, you probably don't want the Ravelry patterns. So I haven't quite figured out a way to merge these things yet. But I figured I'd at least explain it to anybody that's now watching because of the cross-stitch portion. All right, so I drew names earlier, and I always draw names earlier because you're allowed to chat in that thread, and then I don't have to sit there and be staring at my phone going, 61, uh-oh, it's a chat thread. 64, oh, that person already won. I always draw the names ahead of time. Everybody just trusts that I'm doing it correctly. This time, the winners are Flibberty Gibbet, number 62. She wins Ravelry patterns, $15 or less. And she actually posted cross stitch. So it's like, I believe it's a bunch of little dragons. They were cute. Phoenix Fire for post 49 also won Ravelry patterns for her blue socks. They have teal on the cuff, heels, and toes, and I'll have a picture here. And then a lighter color for the main sock. And Rose Bob finally won for a gargoyle. I love her gargoyles. And Rose Bob, you won a $25 Etsy card for post number 66, a gargoyle. I actually wrote an exclamation point, So I was so excited, a gargoyle one. And that is it. I'm going to put the picture up of the winners, and then that is it today. I'm hoping this one was short. I'm hoping for short processing this week. And since I didn't have a whole lot to show you anyway. Next week is going to be a little goofy. I'm not sure when I'm going to record because Friday I am going to go see my son. Because Saturday we are going to the Fireside Theater to see a performance of Sister Act. Now the Fireside Theater is actually a dinner theater, so you go for a meal and then you go in for the show. We are actually doing the matinee, which means we get more of a brunch type food. And then we are going to go see the musical Sister Act. When my son is in show choir, for anybody that doesn't know, and there's 2 show choir groups at his school. There's an all-girls, and then there is the co-ed. He's in the co-ed, obviously. And they always do their shows based on a musical. And this year, the co-ed group did Big Fish, and the girls did Sister Act. Both of these are musicals that were made after movies. So there was movies that were not musicals, and then they produced, and then they made musicals. Now, Sister Act's a little funky because if you watch the Whoopi Goldberg movie, there is singing in it. That's kind of the point. But the songs in the musical are not those songs, from what I understand. And at least none of the ones that the kids sang. Anyway, his girlfriend's was in the girls group doing Sister Act, and when I saw the Fireside was doing the full production of Sister Act, I thought it would be really fun for them to actually see the actual musical that they had performed from. So, and my son likes going to those. So, I was a single mom, and I took him to baseball games, hockey games, and musicals. We were well-rounded. Which might be why he's in show choir. So, anyway, so next Friday I'm going to there so that Saturday morning, because we have to leave at 9:30 because we have to be there at 10:30. I never know. You don't really need to be there at 10:30 because they don't seat you right away. They want you to shop. But anyway, I need to leave 9:30, 10 o'clock. So it's just easier if I'm already there. So I won't be recording next Friday, which means I don't know when I'm going to record. So I will see you guys all next time. Bye now. Hi, I just realized I forgot 2 very important things. One, I have a new shawl pin. There. The camera's over on the side. This shawl pin was made by my friend Debbie's son at Nitopia. She had asked him to make some for her roommates, and everybody loved them, and so he was actually looking to make money for prom, and she told him she had plenty of people who were willing to place orders, and I was one of those people. He's the same age as my son, so anything that helps spur creativity and things like that. And it's a real simple one. It has a hack. All right. There you go. Anyway, so this was I ordered it at the Nitopia retreat, and then it just came in the mail, which leads me to the second part. She commented that I can tell I have it sit right here. And I knew I had it, but now that I can see myself, it's really bugging me. I'm sorry. She commented that we didn't have a lot of time to talk at Nitopia, and I agreed with her. And then she said, do you know that there's another one? There's another retreat in Pentwater, Michigan. Somebody I know from previous retreats is actually hosting it. It's called Pearling in Pentwater. And after I signed up, she asked if I would please mention it on the podcast, as she would like to get a few more people attending. So if you are interested, Pentwater, Michigan is about halfway up the state, near-ish the other side of Lake Michigan. I'm on the west side of Lake Michigan. They're on the east side. And for me, I'm actually going to take the ferry across. Debbie has agreed to pick me up. Years ago, there's 2 ferries. Years ago, I went on the one that goes from, I don't remember where it starts, maybe Sheboygan, but it lands in Ludington, Michigan. And that one is an old ship, long ride, very rocky. I got seasick. This time I'm going on the more southern one that goes out of downtown Milwaukee and goes to Muskego? I don't know. Anyway, it is 2.5 hours, and I'm hoping it is a lot easier, if nothing else, a lot shorter. And she's picking me up. But anyway, so Debbie mentioned it. Several people I know are actually already going to go there. And if you would like to join us, you need to look for the Bobbins Up group on Ravelry. I will also post it in the show notes. And talk to Deborah, who's the organizer. Her name is Deborah Youngs on Ravelry. You'll find her easily because she's the moderator of the group. And she's got a couple more openings. It is $160 from September 14th through September 18th. I guess you need to know that. That would be important. September 14th through the 18th. Pentwater, Michigan. Bobbins Up group. $160. Come join us if you can. I will see you guys all next time. For real this time. Bye now.